Yo, what up? It's Compton Rick Rock, Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get straight into the story. I talk about everybody else's story, what everybody else been going through. So let me let y'all in on some of my stories on what I've went through. Ironwood State Prison, we talked about that yesterday, and we're gonna talk about a little bit more today. Being in prison, you don't get no visits unless you have a family support system or a girlfriend. In this case, I was young, I didn't have no solid female on my team, so my girlfriend at the time was a sock. We used to take a sock, put a glove in it, and make a fifi, put some lotion in it, and we do it to that sock. Anybody that ever been to jail, they know about a fifi. Well, one day, I got a job in the kitchen, the big kitchen. This is the job that everybody in prison wants because you get to eat all the food you want, you get to make certain foods that the rest of the population don't have. This day, I came to work, there was a new female staff that just started, a white lady on top of that. She wasn't the best looking chick, she was kind of out of shape, but in jail, that's fine, that is fine, that's Beyonce. So one day she calls me and say, Manny, can you help me load and stock up a couple of items? We did this for a couple of months. By this time, we both got comfortable with talking to one another, and it wasn't even like she was a police anymore or anything like that. It seemed like we've been knowing each other our whole life. So one day she comes to work and she goes, Manny, I wish my husband was like you guys in here. You guys are real nice, you guys are polite, you guys are respectful, and I just love you guys' energy. So look, check it out. You ever heard somebody say keep your business to yourself, move in silent? I know you guys heard that before. This is where I made my mistake. I told one of my boys, I can't say his name, but I will call him Big Dog. I told him, I said, man, you know the new female staff that work here, man? Man, she been telling me her husband don't do this and her husband don't do that. He goes, Rock, I'm a lifer. You going home in a few years. Let me get at her. I said, man, I ain't tripping. Biggest mistake I made, because this was about to be my first time to get me some from a female staff. I done heard all the stories of inmates that done had sex with female officers. Finally, at 25 years old, about to be my first time getting me some from a female staff, and I blew it by running my mouth. I told my boy, and I say about a month later, he calls me, he say, hey, Rick Rock, do me a favor. I said, what's up? He said, watch out for me. Watch out for what? He like, bro, just watch out for me. I'm like, all right. So I post up, I'm watching out, looking, making sure nobody is watching us. I see the female staff, she goes right into the restroom, the staff's restroom. I see my boy, he go right behind her. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. He comes out, he's adjusting his pants, she comes out. He say, Rock, I just hit that thing. I say, what? He said, man, I hit it. I couldn't believe it. I went back to my cell, upset. I couldn't tell another soul. That's one thing about jail. You can't be running your mouth telling people. So I had to keep that to myself. Every time I seen that female staff, she never talked to me again about her husband. She knew that I was the watch out guy, but she never gave me no more play. But the good thing is, from that day going forward, we had Hennessy. She was bringing us weed up in there, and the whole 9 yards, right? The homie fell in love with her. She didn't need him for that. She had a husband. He fell in love. She shook him, met somebody else, and he had her bringing in the big sack. Instead of the habits, the alcohol, and the stuff that we was getting up in there to party with, they was hustling. Well, eventually, she got cracked. She got cracked bringing it in. They caught her at the front gate, handcuffed her up, took her to jail. Yeah, she's probably free right now, but that's one of the stories that I regret running my mouth, talking. So for all you guys that's in jail doing time, If you got action at a female stab, she's digging your style, she's liking your physique, don't go running your mouth. Put a hump in her back like a Halloween cat. Compton Rick Rock.